Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Some breaking news just dropped. It has been reported that the Houston Rockets are may decide to move on from Victor Oladipo by the trade deadline. So, it's going to be a pretty interesting because we were just right off of a six-game winning streak, and then right after we lose to the Thunder, and that post-game reaction is coming soon. We there's been reports that we're going to move on from him, and so it's kind of hard for me because I kind of started to like Victor Oladipo from what he said since the moment he got here, just saying that he wants to build chemistry and stuff like that. And I know he's not the most efficient player right now, but what are y'all thoughts about this whole trade rumors?
I'm not too shocked by the rumors. I feel like maybe one of our plans when we got Depot was to flip him at the deadline to get even more picks. But after a 6 game win streak, yeah, like you said, I started to really grow and like this team. And maybe we could have done something. Maybe, of course, not go to the finals or anything, but maybe at least win the first round. But honestly, I'm not too surprised by the rumors or by the report that he might be traded. I kind of like it because then it gives us a better chance to get a higher pick because he's going to be gone and the team's going to be significantly worse. And plus, we're going to get a pick from Depot or maybe a younger player. So I'm not too mad about it. But yeah, let's just see what Stone can pull out of this deal if he does a deal for Depot.
Yeah, I think that the rumors were. I think it's so. The rumors were in the making, and I think that this was something that we were all expecting at some point because Victor Oladipo, he's on an expiring contract, and he's not expressed any intent of staying with the Rockets long term. And besides, he's 28 years old, not quite the timeline for the Houston Rockets rebuild. And so I think that this potential trade of Oladipo that's going to be coming up in the next few weeks was inevitable. And I think that it's fine as long as we can get some nice young players or some draft picks to help us out in the future. But of course, it is sad to see a player who kind of immediately got attached to the Rockets fan base, and we all really liked him as soon as he came here go. But I think it is the best move for the franchise to part ways with Victor Oladipo and get future assets in return.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a little hard for us to see Victor Oladipo go because I mean, yeah, like I said, he's been he's made this team win some games that we probably might have that people might have thought that we would have lost. So, but do you guys think that it was kind of like the elephant in the room? But do you guys think that Victor Oladipo could be traded to the Heat? He was kind of like previously rumored there, and some people were saying we could get Tyler Hero back. I mean, he had insane value before the season started after that whole finals run, but now his value kind of declined like pretty significantly, I think. So, do you think there's a shot? I mean, to get Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat because Jimmy Butler, he's like 30, he's like in his early 30s. So, pairing him with Victor Oladipo would it make sense for that Jimmy Butler timeline if they're going to still want to try? And especially since the East got much harder. So, what do you guys think about that?
I feel like we could trade Depot for a hero, but I feel like we would probably have to maybe add maybe Daniel House somehow, or maybe PJ Tucker, because I don't feel like Depot straight up for Tyler Hero would. I don't feel like Miami would accept that trade
Yeah,
unless maybe we added like a first and Depot or something like that. But Depot straight up for him, nah. Plus, I don't think the salaries match or whatever. So I feel like it could get a deal done for Hero and Depot, but I would have to add more assets.
I think that before the season started, or maybe like as soon as we acquired Victor Oladipo, if you had flipped him for Tyler Hero, maybe. But looking at the way Tyler Hero has been playing right now, he is just not good enough to be like the only guy around, in Victor Oladipo trade. And as far as trading him to the Heat, I'm fine with it because the Miami Heat have a lot of young players and draft picks that could turn out to be pretty good, especially given they've already not had a good season right now. And obviously, we can't trade for their pick this year because OKC has it. but like the draft pick from next season and so on and so forth. Jimmy Butler's going to keep getting older, and we don't know how good this Heat team is going to be with a core of Bam and whoever they have after a Victor Oladipo trade. I don't. I'm sorry. I am not against a Miami Heat trade for Victor Oladipo, but I'm questioning if the trade package that the Heat assemble is going to be good enough for the Rockets to pull the trigger.
I mean, what other suitors do y'all think could be in like the stakes for Victor Oladipo? Would you say?
I saw one tweet from Rob Kimball. It says maybe 76ers. We could trade Depot for Maxi, Thibault, and a first round pick, or maybe Milton and Thibault for a first round pick. I feel like the Maxi and Thibault in the first round pick, that's probably the best trade in my opinion. It's better than the Tyler Hero trade. Not only do you get a young, what is Maxi? He's a rookie or a second
He's
year?
a rookie. He's a rookie.
Yeah, we get a really good rookie who's I think he's been playing really well for Philadelphia. And then Matisse Thybulle, he's had a really good last week, 2 weeks, I think. There's been a lot of highlights and a lot of different things about Thybulle. And you get a first round pick. I feel like that would be the best trade in my opinion. But it's just to see if 76ers would do it.
Yeah, I think that like you said, that Philadelphia 76ers trade package, I like that more than the Heat because personally, I like Tyrese Maxey a good bit more than I like Tyler Hero or Kendrick Nunn or whoever they give us in that deal. And I think if I'm the Rockets, I'm not dealing Oladipo to the 76ers unless I get Tyrese Maxey back. We already had a chance to get Maxey in that Harden deal, but of course that didn't go down. I think that the Rockets should not pass up a chance to get Tyrese Maxey if they're given one. And so if I'm Raphael Stone and I'm looking at a package from the 76ers with centered around Tyrese Maxey, and I'm looking at the Miami Heat who are offering me a package centered around Tyler Hero, I'm taking the Philadelphia 76ers package centered around Maxey over the Miami Heat's package.
That's pretty interesting because I don't think the 76ers would give both Maxey and Thibault because they were reluctant to add those two in the Harden trade. I think Stone was pushing for both of them, but that would be pretty interesting because then that would form a new big three in Philadelphia. I'm assuming Oladipo would be the third option. I guess. I mean, he could be the second option, but obviously Embiid is going to be the first option. But Oladipo would be really good as a third option for them. So they could pull the trigger on that, but I think they really, really like Maxey over there. I mean, but honestly, if they're going all in, because the 76ers championship window isn't like it's not super like tight right now. Like they still have a lot of years to go. So I don't know if they would go in like some kind of that all in kind of trade by getting Oladipo and also based on the fact that Oladipo is going to need extension. But yeah, that would be pretty interesting. But I still like Tyler Hero. I feel like the people that we have like Silas would do really would make Hero look way better. I wouldn't also mind Duncan Robinson from the Heat if they'd be willing to trade him. I mean, he's been a prolific 3-point shooter, and he's still been pretty good. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind him either. And we always need 3-point shooting anyway. So.
I think the 76ers, they're 12-0 with their normal starting lineup with like when everybody's healthy and all that. So I think that's another factor that 76ers, maybe they're interested in Depot, but I don't think they would want to mess up their starting five because they have the chemistry, they have all that going on. So yeah, I think Miami would be the more likely, more realistic destination to give Butler and all of them another star. So yeah, I think Miami would probably be the most likely.
Well, first of all, addressing the thing where they said that the Philadelphia 76ers are not going to be willing to deal Maxey because they weren't going to deal him in the Harden trade. You have to realize that in that deal, Ben Simmons and multiple first-round picks were also a part of that deal. I think with this deal, you're not going to ask for as much out of Philadelphia. Obviously, not going to ask for as much. But in that Harden trade, Simmons was a centerpiece with Maxi's another guy who they didn't really want to give up. I think with this trade, you can put like Tyrese Maxey and a first round pick or something like that. Tyrese Maxey 2 firsts, something like that, and I think you have a deal because Tyrese Maxey, while he's good, he's probably not going to be someone who the Sixers say is untouchable if Victor Oladipo is on the table for them because Victor Oladipo, alongside Simmons and alongside Embiid, that puts them on the level that they need to be at to beat a team like Brooklyn. And with Tyrese Maxey with the Houston Rockets, I think the Rockets already had their eyes on him. And by acquiring Tyrese Maxey, the Houston Rockets will have their point guard for the future that they've kind of been looking for. And I think for this deal to go down, I think it's a mutual benefit. It's a win-win for the Sixers and the Rockets. The Philadelphia 76ers get that guy that they need to compete with Brooklyn, to really put them on a puncher equal footing with the Brooklyn Nets, and Houston Rockets, of course, get that point guard for the future that they've been looking for, and a guy that they've wanted for a while now in Tyrese Maxey.
They can have Mason Jones and Tyrese Maxey for the future. Yeah, it's really nice. So,
Yeah, I was just wondering if they would be willing to trade like a decent part of their future for someone who just looking for extension instead of like, but just I guess it depends on how much like how much hype or buzz that Victor Oladipo gets around the trade deadline. I mean, Oladipo is pretty underrated like defensive wise. He's a great two-way player, and yeah, like you said, he'd be a great complement to that 76ers offense. So with that being said, let us know where you think Victor Oladipo is gonna go after the trade deadline. Do you think he'll still be on the Rockets? Do you think he'll be on another team? Put that team down in the comments below, and thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Peace.